Welcome to this week's Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank. I caught up with Paul Pieper, a dry bean grower in Sioux County, as the day hit 99 degrees and made the otherwise dry climate humid in the bean field. Pieper says the dry summer has been a challenge.
Well, the beans are progressing. It's been a tough summer for them. Here in Sioux County, we've had lack of moisture, for better words, and but we have beans in all stages. We've got some that are starting to yellow a little bit, turn a little white. We have some here that are just starting to blossom and set, and then we have some that have set and they're going to start drying down. So we have a little atmospheric bronzing going on the plant and some little bacterial wilt, but
bacterial wilt in bean plants is caused by moderate to warm temperatures and plant wounds both during and post-flowering. Pieper tells us how he handles bacteria in his fields.
Comes in, and if you have it, you have it. And if you don't, you think you're lucky stars.
You guys spray for it? Do you?
I do not. There's people that do, but my plan is to try to keep the plant as healthy as possible from the start, and then try not to put on anything that I don't have to later on. So
many of the fields in western Nebraska have been without rain for at least 30 days or more. Irrigation has provided the only water for the beans and other crops.
We haven't been able to keep them wet. I mean, they're earning their name of dryables because you can see there's some drought stress going on here in the field now, and these beans have been watered less than a week ago, but there's no moisture. It's all evaporating, or you can't put it in fast enough. So it's 98 degrees and a 20-mile-an-hour wind every day for the last month. It seems like you just go in circles.
The dry bean harvest will begin in late August, which is pretty early but not unusual. The heat has caused early maturation in many of the fields, and Pieper says it could affect some yield.
I know, like pod fill is with some heat, you see that it's not filling. So you have a nice big bean, but there's not very many. They're short pods, 3 to 5 in a pod. But there's a blank there. Well, that's due to heat and heat stress and lack of moisture and conditions.
Pieper, like many farmers in the area, not only plant commodity crops, but crops to eat throughout the winter, such as sweet corn.
We planted it with expectations of filling our freezer this winter, and it's really come on, and we've put down probably close to 200 quarts of corn, and then we've also sold a little bit just to the neighbors and some people in town. So my wife and I both come from big families, and we just help fill the freezers of our families, and we have good eating all winter long that way.
Pieper says it takes about a week to harvest the sweet corn. The Pieper family is not the only ones who enjoy the sweet corn, as Paul has had to put up an electric fence to keep raccoons and skunks looking for a tasty meal out of the field. We'll be back to check on the bean harvest in western Nebraska and how the yields fared in a few weeks. I'm Chabella Guzman with the Rural Radio Network, and this has been Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.